What's up, everybody, and welcome back to this episode of Track Talkers. Was Deegan's pass legit? Were the passes necessary or unnecessary? Will Hunter ever be able to beat his brother? Surgery for Seth Hammaker. What is Team USA going to do? Who are they going to pick? Did they really need to dock Hayden Deegan after he broke his collarbone and was out of the race? Eli Tomac, what does this mean for next year? Where will he be at? And how long will Jett Lawrence reign king? All that and more in this episode of the SMX Finals of Las Vegas on Track Talkers. Not only that, Ty, but this is the season finale. You know what happens at finales, dude?
People go down in the last moto like Chase Sexton. We have an update for you guys too, so stay tuned.
Yes, and we give shit away, okay? Right at the beginning of the episode, we're giving stuff away. We're giving away 2 free hats. We're going to give away some stickers. You want the black hat, Ty? You know what you got to do? You got to comment, Deegan has the passion this sport needs. If you want the white hat, you got to comment, I don't speak English, okay? Each comment separate. You can enter to win both hats. Deegan fan, Joe Shimoda fan, we don't care. You want a Track Talker sticker kit? Comment below. Best podcast ever. We're going to pick a bunch of winners, so you guys just comment below. We're going to get right into it. But Ty, what are we going to start with on this episode?
Dude, all I got to say is, dude, the light's too bright, and that's why I got my shades on in the studio. I'm back in the studio, ready to keep you in line, ready to talk my shit, and have a good episode with the YouTube fam.
Hell yeah. You know who else we got on the line, Ty?
Bro, my boy, my favorite photographer,
and SMX Insider.
And
dude,
SMX
my boy's working
Insider.
for SuperMotocross, dude. He's official.
God damn, boy.
Give a round of applause. Give a round of applause one time. Michael Anton, welcome to the show. Michael Antonovich.
Thank you, boys.
Hell yeah.
Good to see both of you in person this weekend. That was nice.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Felt like a family reunion.
Bro, it was good to be back at the races.
It really was. Oh, I felt the energy. I mean, dude, the whole stadium was just unreal last night.
I mean, I don't know if it was just I haven't been to a race in a long time, or it was just like the SMX Finals, and it was a night race on top of it all. But
and too, you know what I really think capped it off? It's in Vegas. You know, doesn't Vegas just put out those final vibes?
Yeah,
it really does.
It does. And like honestly, I was a little worried coming in the SMX Finals of like how everything would feel after, you know, dude, because like. Straight up, these racers, the crew chiefs, the crew, the truck drivers, bro, these guys have been on the road since January.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, sometimes these last rounds kind of drag on.
Yes.
You know, and you kind of feel the vibe of, like, everybody just wants to get out of here. But that was not the case, you know, last night. And it was high stakes. I was glad that I was there in person because a lot of stuff went down.
Yeah.
And you had to be there and you had to watch it live to get the whole graph of how intense it was, especially in the 250 class. But the 450 class was insane with just Eli Tomac being competitive, you know, almost winning, you know, Moto 1 and goddamn making it close. I was having some high hopes that Deegan was going to pull away. Or not Deegan, but Eli Tomac was going to pull away and figure it out and get that moto win.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all were. Eli Tomac in that first moto, every single person in the crowd was on their feet, just like ready to chant Eli Tomac. It just felt like America as a whole was behind Eli Tomac because we've seen the Jett Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, just reign, and it was like, oh my gosh, Eli Tomac has it, and you know he was definitely closer than we've ever seen, and I think we've seen that was the most motivated we've seen him to win, right?
And then yes, and then I think he has to deal with a lot of the bike too because his bike looked dialed in from like the first practice, where Jett and Hunter's bike did not look as settled as I thought they would because like. When they were doing their fast laps, like, yeah, they were fast, but it looked like they were on the edge, and they normally don't look that way.
Yeah. They definitely look like in practice they were skating. By the time the second practices came around, it definitely looked like they had figured the bike setup out a little bit more. But it looked like Hunter Lawrence was really searching for the front. And I was like, wow, Jett's going to smoke him now. And then right there at that last lap of second practice, Hunter put in that hot lap where it was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a race. You know, because Jett at one point was like 2 seconds faster than everybody.
Yeah. And I got to give it up to just like the track crew in general, and then the riders evolving with the track. Yeah. Because, dude, the first practice, track was tough.
Yeah, but we know that.
Yeah, I know. But, like, I don't think a lot of people grasp of, like, how slippery, like, the lines are starting to work in, the track's rigid, like, you have all these hook ruts because everybody wants to go straight and they don't want to work the side knobbies, and you have to have the track wet or it's just going to just go away for the nighttime. But, like, evolving with the track after, you know, practice 1, practice 2 got a little bit better, and then, you know, the night show, the track I felt like was phenomenal. They added kind of some steep rollers where I think was kind of a little unnecessary to slow down some sections where I thought they could have just left those rollers, like especially in the back section, just like a little bit mellower.
Yeah.
But, you know, some minor little track changes that I thought was kind of weird, especially for, you know, just people doing sight laps and going to the main events. I don't think that was much of a big deal. But I thought the track was actually really, really entertaining to watch. And like, yeah, there's tight sections, but you're going to get that when you have a 22-foot wide track and you're trying to S it in between K rails.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Hey, Anton, what was your big takeaway from the 450 class this weekend?
I mean, if I could, I'd like to go back and hit on everything that you guys have said, because that really does tell the whole story.
Yeah.
To be in Vegas, I really do think, like, you have to go to see it and remember, like, yeah, it's Vegas. There's so many people that make the trip. They want to wrap up a little vacation, go party, whatever. And what I noticed at the races yesterday, at the races on Friday, and then leaving the airport today, very dedicated fans that go to that, very well-informed, very educated fans that follow everything and know everything. Yeah, they're going to go slam a couple brews while they're there and all of that. But if they're making the trip to go to the final, they understand the importance that is on stake.
Yeah.
So then knowing how many showed up, dude, great turnout for that crowd, for, you know, the drag strip and all of that.
Yeah.
Very, very solid. You know, it's not as many seats as Angel Stadium. You know, not even going to try to say that it is, but that's a great aesthetic look when those crowds are packed in that kind of thing, and those VIP areas are packed, and then you see the people that are around the outsides on the side of the track. Like, great show for what it is. Flying out today, we flew over the racetrack, and I got to say, you know, when you see it in person, looks big as hell. It was a big, beefy track. That shit looked like a video game. That looked like something that I would love to play, like on MX versus ATV Unleashed.
Totally. Yeah.
But then when you're flying over it and you see how big the drag strip really is, or how big the dirt track is, or then, of course, how big the NASCAR track is.
Yeah.
Wow, not that big of a footprint. So pretty impressive to see all the stuff that was in there, all the stuff that went on. And again, they're just learning. Probably one of the best SMX tracks that they've ever built, minus Chicago, just because it was the outdoor style.
Yeah.
But then back to the point of why the fans, I think, are just so that added yesterday to what you were saying about Eli, because they were cheering. They were knowing enough to follow him on a hot lap and not be spoon-fed what Adam or Justin Brayton were saying on Race Day Live through the broadcast. They knew enough to watch him link together the entire thing. And one last point about just viewing spectators, the grandstands, the track at that place. If you were on the side with the big grandstand with the suites at the top, man, there really wasn't a bad view of the entire track. If you got up high enough, you could see the entire thing.
Yes.
And that's really, really rare at a track of that size.
And
you know, because in Charlotte, once you went out the back, you didn't see anything. But even when they went to the backside of the smaller grandstands, you could still follow along and see what was happening and really even get a context of how fast the guys were going from that far away. And that's tremendous as they try to do this. I really do hope tracks of this size and more speedway, like we know that stadiums will always serve a purpose, but man, through the last 5 years since we had to go to the Atlanta Speedway and then go to the drag strips as much as we have been, to see these supersized tracks, we kind of can finally see what the a modern day four-stroke is capable of. And like, that's got to be the trend. The cookie cutter in a shoebox, 47-second lap time. Like, yeah, you got to do it when there's stadium availability, but this is what will really let you guys see what the bikes are capable of in a controlled environment. They just can't be so one-lined and narrow like they are, which is what we figured out. You know, all the little tight chicanes and the little like single file corners still funnel into the same thing. And exactly what you said, after free practice or after time qualifying on Saturday, they saw how one-lined it was getting and they tuned some stuff up. Even after free practice on Friday, they went out there and reworked some stuff to make it have a better flow, because it was so obvious, like, yeah, your lane is that big, but the guys only want to ride a 2-foot goat path. That's the hot line. So more and more time, they'll understand how to make these big tracks race better. It's only been 3 years. They've only built 9 of them at this point. It'll get better. You know, I thought that was great. But then into the 450 class thing, well, the point on Eli, I agree with you guys that he did look great. He looked like he had a lot of fire and everything like that. And to see him go up against Jett and Hunter both and give them a good, honest race was awesome, especially after building so much this year. Of course, the injury back at Tampa took some wind out of his sails. And then he said it in press conferences and stuff lately. They did, you know, kind of start going in a different direction to always find the perfect setup for the motorcycle. And I do think that they didn't lose the way, but they weren't spot on like they would want to be. And he's found that feeling in the last little bit. He's only got one more race on that bike, you know, so kind of a wild night to watch, where I was like, wow, Eli's last ride on a Yamaha on a track like this, and watching him send it was sick. Made me get interested to see how he's going to be on the KTM, especially given everything that's been going on over there in the last couple months, just like how those bikes are handling and the internal things that are going on there. Big question mark for Eli after last night, because the Yamaha looked very stable. KTM will be fine, but yeah, man, what a turning point of, like, we'll look back on last night as like a changing era for sure. Might not realize it right now, but goddamn, that was a big night.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the bike will be fine at KTM. I really don't. But I want to get into the hot topic of the show. We're in the Twisted Tea Smack the competition. We had come on, Bailey Zimmerman was there putting back Twisted Teas. Come on, hey, half and halves. What's up? Half and halves all weekend. They're the best. Twisted Tea Smack the competition. If we're talking about Smack the competition, boys, we got to break the Deegan shit down, right? We have to.
I mean,
how far are we
even into the show right now?
Dude, we have to break it down.
Hey, put it this way. We have probably gone further than most other shows we're going to start with. That's going to be the first 35 seconds for everybody else.
Hey, but I mean,
everybody wants to hear.
Yes, because that is the hot topic. I mean, Deegan breaks his collarbone. Definitely, you know, whether he wants to show it or not, embarrassing moment. You know, little bit embarrassing for sure, because it's just didn't work out.
A little bit?
I mean, he's an 18-year-old kid. He's going to brush it off. And two, he's definitely used to hate comms.
Yes.
So, you know, if anybody can brush it off, hopefully it's Hayden Deegan. You know what I mean? Because the last thing we need is some kid, you know, like Hayden Deegan, who is that good and does so much for our sport, pissed off at everybody. Or, I mean, we might need that. But either way, where do we start, Uncle Ty?
We got to start in Moto 1, bro.
Okay, let's start in Moto 1.
No, start in practice.
Okay, what happened in practice, Anton? Fill us in.
10th place.
Yeah, bro, he looked like shit. He did not look good.
He was visibly flustered.
Yes.
Visibly flustered, which you don't usually see. Like, a lot of head shake, like, obviously everything that happens in time qualifying and all of that through there, but when those things happen and Hayden does run it in with people, he usually ends up by being at the top of the board when the clock stops. And he wasn't then. And when he noticed that he wasn't on the board when it was over after practice 2, I was like, oh, wow, okay. There might actually be something to this tonight. Like, everybody could talk anything they wanted of like, oh my God, when the motos happen, it's gonna da 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 da. But if he goes out and puts the fastest lap in, it's pretty mute, then the tone is set for the night. But him not riding as well in practice, having to get the gate pick that he had to get, the chatter that starts from then, even, I mean, there was chatter in the afternoon, there's chatter in the morning, all that. But really, practice was the first of like, oh, okay, could this come unraveled this way, or is it going to stay together? And we know how it went.
And for everybody that doesn't know, so he originally had the 7th quickest time, but on that lap that he got that lap time, right before the finish, he slid over that single where he took out Shimoda, and he kind of bobbled a little bit, and then he just stayed on the gas and cut underneath, 2 tough blocks that were on flat dirt.
Yes.
I mean, that was it. It wasn't intentional. It was a kind of a thing where like his bike slid a little bit more than it should have, and he just didn't let off the throttle to correct it. Yeah. And he just kind of played it out. Yeah. What is, bro, you know how many times I've done that? Like, it just happened to be on his fastest lap time.
And two, the other thing is like you were going over that single and you noticed that a lot of the riders were starting to try to cut down, and it was so slippery on the face of that thing. Like just a tiny bit of that oversteer you needed to kind of crank the thing to get to the inside because it was so slick. He just overcorrected it, hooked for a second, and just shot him inside the
Yeah, but I've been seeing so many comments like they're saying in like intentional, this is what this kid does.
Who says
blah,
that,
blah,
bro?
blah, blah.
They obviously don't know about riding.
I mean, it's probably the people that have like, whatever. No time on their hands and just wants to put a hate comment.
Shit up.
Yeah, to stir shit up. Yeah. But I don't, in my professional opinion, it wasn't intentional. It just happened, and it happened to be on his fastest lap time where they took him away, and that's what should happen. Like, it's nothing against Deegan. I feel like if anybody did that, it'd be taken away.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So starting there, and then,
Well, they probably had a guy dedicated at Honda watching Deegan writing everything down.
I mean, bro, it was right before the finish line.
Yeah, it was
flagger,
obvious. I saw it. I saw it in real time.
Yeah,
But yeah, like to Anton's point, he was definitely flustered. He was overriding the bike in practice. Like I was watching him like a hawk, and he was coming over the singles like in that front section, and he was just pushing it too hard, and the rear tire would get over the top of like the mud section because you could only ride like a 3-foot path for practice.
Yeah,
it was like the 3-foot good path, and he would just override the bike a little bit, and his rear tire would get in that mud, and then he'd lose a little drive.
Yeah, he didn't look very smooth in practice.
No. You think it was more his bike, or do you think he was just rushing things because he was trying to force it?
I think he was just rushing things, and with that track in practice like that, where it's a little like inconsistent, it's going to be a little bit muddy here, it's going to be dry, sick, kind of marbly over there, and I think it doesn't pay to be aggressive and push hard on that type of thing, on that type of track.
Yep. So setting the tone from practice, Deegan is already nervous.
And Joe Shimoda was absolutely ripping.
Yes. And Deegan knows he's going to have to do something right from practice.
I mean, yeah, but if you don't know by now, Deegan is a gamer.
Yeah.
And that basically means, what that means when you're a gamer is when it matters the most and that game drops, he's going to be up there.
Yeah, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Moto
1. Take us through it, Anton.
I'm trying to think that. Well, I mean, honestly, as that race was happening, as I was watching it off the floor, that was what the entire week had been building from. Like literally what we had said. Everybody's been waiting for this in St. Louis last week. Like that first 250 moto, my heart was like thumping, and everybody's was. People that I talked to, dude, PR people I talked to, gear people I talked to, photographers, people on the track. Dog, that shit had the buildup that we had been wanting all week. Like it really did. Of like, oh God, what's gonna happen? And then not a great start. Joe and Seth get up there and do what they got to do. He puts on a fucking psycho charge. He is going forward, and it's what you want to see. And like,
but Anton, he wasn't like he wasn't kind of moving forward. He's kind of stuck in that like 5th or 6th spot for a little bit.
But it was the people ahead of him that when you're just like thinking of just the WWE Vince McMahon scriptwriter shit that could happen. It's every single person that he's had an issue with. Ryder D right in front of him, and you're just thinking mini bike shit.
Yes.
And everything that's happened in the last couple of years, and you're like, there's one, and then there's Levi, and then there's Seth, and then there's Joe. Like, there you go. Like, how is this gonna go? And they immediately happen. And like, I straight told somebody, I was like, man, I wonder if the Ryder thing, like, if him and Ryder, if that is the first flashpoint, or is it Levi? Like, or is it gonna save up to beat Joe? That like that's where all the shenanigans and every bit of any kind of controversy or act or whatever is going to happen tonight. Like, who gets it? Who does it start with?
Yeah.
And like, I was really wondering how it was going to happen with Ryder. And then when Ryder gets landed on, freak exit, that was like, I will say 100%. Hayden is going for it, and Ryder made a mistake in the one spot that you could not a mistake, but the easiest spot to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And thank God that kid is okay. Like, to know how horrific.
Gosh.
Frame rails, tires, all of that stuff straight to the top of his head. And he is unconscious immediately.
Oh, yeah.
That speaks volumes to that helmet because he was walking around. And I mean, this might not be the best medical practice, but you got to get up. But he was fine by the podium after the races were over.
Yeah, I saw him
he
walk.
Was not in La La Land. Dog, fine. So for so many people to be like collectively holding their breath after Ryder had what happened to him happen, and see, he's fine. Wow, amazing. You know,
I'm not kidding you,
different.
Anton. Like the stands that happened, and the whole crowd was like, "Oh!" And then it just went fucking silent. Everybody's eyes. Nobody knew what was happening in the race. Nobody looked at anything else. The whole entire area was on Ryder D because he wasn't moving. Like me and Ty looked at each other and we're just like, dude, are we seeing what we're seeing right now?
Yes.
And like we were all thinking the worst. I think the fans, everybody was thinking the worst. And then we saw his legs move, and then all of a sudden he started moving, and then he sat up, and I swear all of Las Vegas cheered at the same time. I mean, it was like one of those moments of relief to see that Ryder D was okay. Like, cause it just looked, when it was in real time, it looked insanely bad.
Yes. Insanely
Eddie,
bad.
I am so glad you said that because I was all back down by the starting area and by the mechanics area to see what was going on more down there because I hadn't been down there all weekend. So I would only hear like the roar of the crowd, but I wouldn't see what was happening in the Supercross section to let me know what was happening. What you're describing and all that we're talking about, like, that was fucking straight theater. Like, I hate to be dramatic, but it really was. Because it had every element. You have the sound, like, you have the terror aspect of, like, oh my God, what's happening to this poor little boy? Amid all of this other stuff. And again, I forgot Tom Vial was in the middle of it too. So then you have the international flavor.
I didn't even remember.
So many fucking things where you're just like, wow, man, if you had someone that had never been to Supercross before and you gave them a 50-cent, like, hey, man, we're going to have a beer. I'm going to explain to you these top 5 in this thing. And they're watching that. They would have to be just completely flabbergasted at what happened. Is every race like this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nope. Like, this only happens in Vegas.
Right. And again, what you said, the emotion that the crowd put back into that, because I would hear them screaming from the other side of the track and I would know, wow, something happened. And I had no idea. And I can't wait to rewatch the race to see how that stuff played out, you know, but like that fueled so much of it. Okay. So then back to the recap of the race. I'm sure I can't remember because again, I'm distracted, but he either gets up to Tom or Levi first. And I'm like, all right, here's the next one.
Well, so he passes Levi right before he passed Ryder because he passed Levi on that corner. And he was going to do the identical pass to Ryder, but Ryder rear end washed out.
Made the mistake.
And ended up right in the middle of where Deegan was going.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for being the eyes in the sky, Ty, because I would never have known.
Yeah.
Like, again, so much goes on. I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to like recap.
Dude, the floor
it's hard to remember
so
when you ain't
shitty.
seeing shit.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. But Tom or Levi, regardless of where they were, point, I was expecting one of them to do a little more to like keep them at bay. And they did everything they could, but I was like, wow, okay, like
And
He's
Levi
gone. He
really
passed
did
both of them.
fight. You know,
Yeah.
Levi actually.
Did. But I was waiting like, yo, fuck it. Let's just drop it. Let's do it now. Because like it's to that level right now. It
Yeah.
Yes.
legitimately is to that level of like, fuck it, let's just do it now.
Yeah.
Like,
Double
fuck the
down,
bike
baby.
race
We're in
football.
Vegas.
Let's just do it now. And for Tom, like I said last week, who cares, dude? Your 250 career is over. And if you are a 4-time champion, 2 times in Europe, 2 times over here, and you've been pretty disrespected,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
by this person, fuck them. Fuck them. If you're never going to see him again, make a point on your way out. You know, you're
Yeah.
going to a
Yeah.
factory Honda contract in Europe. You're going home. Who gives a fuck what you do over here?
Yeah.
Make a point.
Yeah.
So, like, that neither of them did it. Honestly, maybe that shows my immaturity that I don't understand what it takes to race at that level. But I was a little, I will say, surprised that, like, there wasn't more there, but it was just enough to, like, really build the suspense. So then he closes that gap to Tom, to Seth, and then to Joe. And, like, wow, that was, you know, he really does close that gap. And there was a time where I'm like, wow, man, this is on. But Joe rode incredibly this weekend. And that's really the thing to talk
incredible.
about.
Yes.
Joe locked the fuck in.
He
Joe,
did.
you were
That
not
was-
taking Joe. And the most important part to that, Joe didn't seem like uncomfortably locked in. Joe was so happy-go-lucky casual, just like, yo, another day to ride my dirt bike.
Mhm.
No stress.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
was
was stressing on
so
the inside.
unfazed though.
Yeah, no,
from the outside looking in.
you could tell this is what I loved about Joe this weekend is that only happens when you really put the work in and it's about to be your time. You know, and it's like, because you know he was nervous out of his fucking mind. You know, and so was Deegan. They can say they're not nervous, but when you have $500,000 on the line and you know it's mono e mono and it's time to go, you're nervous. And the only thing that takes over when you're nervous is your instincts. And the only way to have good instincts is to train those instincts day in and day out. And that to me really means that, you know, Joe has matured over time. He's relying on his instincts. He's relying on the racer that he is. And he's starting to turn that corner into the guy that can really come out to Anaheim or, you know, East Coast and put it down and win a championship.
Yeah.
Instead of like, okay, we got 4 rounds to warm up, Joe. Then we'll get one good one bad one, and then we'll win out. You know, this was a corner turn for Joe Shimoda in his entire career to start to believe that, like, I can show up at A1 and I don't have to be nervous about anybody else. I know I'm going to have top 3 speed when I show
I know,
up.
but like what we have to give Joe huge props for is, dude, he was on the offense the whole weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Good point, Uncle Ty.
He was on the offense. He was attacking. He
Yes.
was not trying to defend the title. He was like, no, I am in the driver's seat. I'm going to stay in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to win this championship because I have been the best rider in this SMX World Championship.
Yeah.
But on a sidebar, before we, you know, jump into the second moto, do we have any more information on what happened to Levi Kitchen before the drop-off on why he backed out?
Yeah, Mike, did you hear anything about that?
No, I didn't. At first, I thought the tire was flat. I thought,
that's what I thought.
Just like and then like when he was stuck in there, I was like, oh wow, it's even off the beat and everything or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw a replay and the tire looked fine. It was up and everything. So I don't even know. There was so much other stuff going on. I didn't even go buy the Cowie truck last night to get an idea why. But like
I
to your
forgot
point
to
of
ask.
that,
I
like
know.
when that happened, that was another what felt like almost like on cue moment. Not to like say anything disrespectful
I
of
know.
Levi, but when you knew like, all right, fuck it, my time's over. I ain't got nothing else. So like, this is your boy's turn to now figure out what we're gonna do about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just totally took himself
You
out.
know what
I
I
know.
mean?
Me and Addie dropped by PC or whatever, like our last stop, and we just congratulated everybody over there. But I forgot to ask and just see what happened.
Literally, I think that there's sometimes when you think you have a flat tire and you don't, and it's like the most embarrassing thing ever.
Yeah.
And that could have been one of those moments.
And too, but that's like one of those jumps you do not want to have a flat tire on.
No.
Imagine
Did you walked it? You didn't even walk the track, dude. That thing is deadly looking. Like if your bike fucks up on that jump, dude, you're toast.
Yeah.
I mean, you're toast.
I know, but it's one of those jumps when you hit it, it's easy.
So easy.
Yes.
Like literally, I could go out there first lap and just go up and do it, no problem. But it's one of those ones where it's just
if you roll it, it's way worse if you roll it.
oh yeah,
You
don't
might
even
as well-
roll it one lap.
Just jump it.
You mean the far step down one?
Yes.
Right? The very, very far. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, I completely agree with you. Honestly, I looked over at it and I'd be like, fuck, man, I'd rather just gas it and go over this thing because I think if you rolled down it and it was all that rough ass dirt, you'd be even more scared. You'd be like, whoa, this thing's big as hell.
It's like, dude, it's like the same thing when you're doing Supercross and you have a fresh set of whoops.
Just hit them.
Just skip the whoops. Don't ever roll them. You're going to freak yourself out if you roll them. But if you just skip them, you're going to be like, okay, this is not bad. I can do this. And you just keep on skipping them.
Yep.
Hey, how would that tunnel jump down be? How would that have been? That thing was so sick.
It was so sick.
The step down
that was the
tabletop thing?
coolest jump ever.
It was.
I
can't believe AC didn't hit it in his hot lap.
He didn't?
The hot lap he did or whatever, or the one he showed in the stadium, he didn't hit it. I know.
He's like factory Alpenstar. Come on, AC.
I thought he was going to be able to hit it.
All right, but
dope.
Let's bring it back. So one of the interesting things, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but like, okay, Deegan passes Hammaker, right?
Moto 1?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that you need Hammaker to beat Shimoda and beat in between, should you have passed Shimoda to let him get third? Because there was a point in that race where if...
You mean in the second moto?
No, in the first moto. Because if he would have won, if he would have let Hammaker get second and Deegan would have got third, right? He could have then passed Hammaker in the second moto, won the moto. Hammaker would have went 2-2. Joe would have went 3-1, but he had the better second moto, so that would have put a space in between them. But, it's like, how do you calculate that? Because he was in the race. If he wouldn't have passed Hammaker, then that would have been able to make it so there could have been an easier separation. I know you don't really know, but like there was a point where
you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
Because there was a point in
the second moto score is going to be the most important moto.
Yes, so there was a point where like Deegan literally, Hammaker was, in front, but there was no reason to pass Hammaker because passing Hammaker would have made Hammaker get a 2-3. And then you would have been totally out of the thing. And you literally, as you passed Hammaker, you now gave Joe the championship.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. You removed the one buffer that you had. You completely, yeah.
So that was a difficult situation. And that's really, to me, what set up Moto 2. I think Deegan was doing the math in his head. And he's like, shit.
Bro, he already knew the math. Like, Star told him.
Yes, before the race, but obviously you don't know what's going to happen in the race. And then
where everybody's at.
Yeah, and then you see what's in front of you, and you're doing the math while you're riding, and you're like, fuck, I'm stuck. I can't, there's nothing I can do now. Like, you're literally in the worst spot you could be. Like, you pass Hammaker, you lose. You stay in second, you lose.
Yep. And that's where he slowed down.
Let's talk about it, Ty.
Bro.
The balls.
Dude,
the balls it takes.
Hey, the only other person I have ever seen pull that shit was James Stewart on Chad Reed at Budds Creek. But it wasn't for a championship. It was just to say that he could pass him twice.
Okay.
And he didn't do this cat and mouse BS.
Yes. And like, this is something, and I know I said this before, but this is something you talk about in the truck. When you're talking with your boys, like, dude, I would have fucking slowed down and took him the fuck out too. You know what I mean? I would have won the championship, whatever it takes. But you never see it.
Yes.
You just see the guys in the track. Mm-hmm. They're always extra respectful, which is a great thing. You know what I mean? We're racers. We're, we have a lot of pride on the line, and you go out and you win the race, and then you let the cards fall where they may. But Deegan said, nah, bro, I'm putting my future. I'm putting my future in my hands.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, literally, That's what he did.
Mhm.
And I got to respect it a little bit. Like, I don't know if I agree, obviously, with the riding, but at the same time, dude, you got to hand kudos to Deegan. The kid wants to win more than I've ever seen anybody want to win. He is willing to be hated. He is willing to be the worst guy in the world.
He does not care. He just wants the dub.
Are you not entertained?
Hey, I was in it.
Oh,
in it.
Anton, what's your feelings on the slowing down thing?
Okay, I knew it was gonna come, and like I really, if you get one chance at it, like, hey, we're like Chad Reed, James, 09, Vegas, we're gonna go one time. Like, let's really try, then let's do that. There were a couple though where I was like, yo, that was pretty fucking egregious. Like the one at the top of the hill where he hits it so hard and the bike is like spinning out, and Joe's bike gets air off of his bike. I'm like, okay, like we know where we're at now, and like if it was any other rider, there would be a very different discussion about how this goes. Like, you say that this is 06 Mike Alessi, fuck, very, very different thing. But it's Hayden, and like we all know that, and like everybody knew, and this is, I'm not being disrespectful at all. Like, nothing that I'm saying is nothing that they haven't thought about themselves. Like, they knew what was going to happen last night. Like, everybody knew, Doug. Everybody knew for a week that like something of that level was going to happen, and all of the riders knew. You know what I mean? Like, the stuff on Joe, that's the stuff that everybody's going to remember. But I think that like any racer is going to realize that the one on Seth was a little sketchy. Like, that one is a little bit like, whoa, okay. Like, when you guys are going that fast into a very deep section, whatever. I mean, you got to have balls to do it. Again, I'm not a professional racer, so that's hard for me to say.
No,
but
that one didn't seem that bad.
That one was pretty tough, though. That one was pretty tough. To pinch him down that hard because he felt Seth Hammaker coming, and he moved over on Seth going into the back section.
And like, you had the line, you have the speed, you have everything. Like, that one is a little like.
But I think so. I think what happened, Anton, is that like I thought Deegan probably thought he was a little bit more farther ahead than Seth, and then after he fell on that over and under jump, he felt Seth coming up, and he was like, "Oh shit, he's gonna pass me," and then started moving over. Where if he would have took that line earlier over the over-under bridge and just cut right over, it wouldn't have been as bad.
But like, regardless of that, he rode everybody to the limit. Like, bar to bar. Like the stuff with Levi in the second moto where he roosed the 360 camera that's in that corner. Like, man, you watch him coming into that thing. From when they're going on the on-off. And again, I'm not being mean. Like, that was the fucking game plan, was go run them as hard as you can, and he did it. Like, there is no one anywhere that would tell you that was not what the intent was for that moto. And Doug, honestly, good for him. Man, it is fucking crazy that he is not afraid to show all of those kids that. And like, they have to know, like, to literally line up next to that kid and know, like, man, that motherfucker really is crazy. He really is going to run it on me that hard.
I mean, honestly, though, like, when you have a type of track that's 22 feet wide with tough blocks, with switchbacks, with sections that are basically a goat trail, like, what do you expect when you see an inch and you have a championship that you want to win, and there's $500,000 dangling out in front of you by 3 seconds, and all you got to do is get through the riders that are in front of you? Like, I'm going to fucking try some sketchy ass shit, especially when I know that I'm the best one on the track.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. When you have that opening in you, or you see that opening, you're going to take it, and you are not considering consequences at that moment because it's happening so fast. You literally just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that Ayrton Senna quote. If you stop going for the gap, then you're not a racer. Like, if it's over, like, that's the whole point, is to find those openings that when they come up, you better take them.
Yeah, and it's just like, there's a famous quote, I think it was Mario Andretti or one of the F1 drivers, where they passed the F1 driver around the outside, and they asked him about the pass, and they're like, "Hey, how did you know that other driver was going to let off?" He's like, the other driver has a family.
Yeah,
and
he
it's
respects
like,
his life. Yeah.
yeah, I knew he was going to let off because he wants to see his family. And it's like, bro, that's the mentality that Deegan was in. When he KO'd Ryder D, he was not checking Ryder D if he was underneath the bike, if he was okay. All he cared about was getting back on the bike and getting up front.
And now, okay, and again, that is not
And
to be a dick,
that literally,
but like,
that's the way you
would
should
feel
ride
that
if
for
you're a
the fucking-
champion.
I don't. Right, but I don't know, Ty, because then at the same time, like, he felt that through the frame rails. You know what I mean? And like, this is someone that you've known since you were 7 years old.
For sure.
You have enough fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but dude, there's just different types of people.
But
and
there's different types of scenarios and all of those things. And that's what, again, is
that was
such
an
another
accident to me.
flashpoint. 100% accident. I know. I'm not saying that he's like, no, hey, no one, if any motherfucker is ever going to try to edit this, I'm not saying that he tried to hurt anybody at all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But it is, again, one of the things that has so many people caught up in this deal of like, wow, man, can you believe that shit fucking happened too? Like, all of that plus this, and you got to think about all of it in the racing career and the racing history of everybody. That's why it's going to get the attention that it's going to get until fucking Anaheim won.
Let's just talk about the bare knuckles of extreme motorsports and extreme athletes.
Let's talk about it, Ty. You know why we talk about it? Because we're sponsored by Dirt Tricks, Stan Benson Racing, Turbis Plastics, California Coast Plumbing, and X Brand Goggles. Check them out. They're the best. They sponsor the show.
And just like Dirt Trick sprockets, do you think your sprocket has a goddamn feeling when the chain is ripping it apart? No, all it's thinking about is driving that motorcycle forward as fast as you want to go. And that's all that Deegan was worried about. He had no emotion attached to any pass or anything last night. All he had was one goal, and I want to win the SMX championship, and I will do anything to get there. And, sometimes, an 18-year-old kid doesn't think the clearest thoughts or the most rational thoughts or the most ethical thoughts. And when he got in the lead in Moto 2, he looked back and saw Joe Shimoda, slowed down, what's one hell of a ballsy maneuver, let him pass, followed him for a few laps, tried to take him out, passed him again, let Joe pass again. Then Joe passes him again, and then goes for the jugular, and then breaks his goddamn collarbone in a flat corner where he cut the track and qualified.
Are you not entertained? Are you not? What does every great movie have in it?
A villain.
A hero and a villain. What is great? Every movie can have. It's drama. Okay? They have two people going against each other head to head. That is how all drama in this world is created. If you don't like Deegan, that is okay, but you better appreciate what he's bringing to the sport, and that is what's going to happen, and that's what we need. You want to grow? Get Joe Shimoda. Get the freaking jokes and all that stuff. Get Jett Lawrence that's got all the talent. Get Haiden Deegan. Get the American hero, Eli Tomac. Get Chase Sexton that has the speed that can get it together but can't find the right bike. I mean, this is what we are living in right now in 2025 and 2026, and this is what we asked for.
Yes.
Okay?
I love close racing. If that's what I have to put through is a little bit of a emotionalist Deegan to fucking look at close racing and some competitiveness, give it to me.
So
Okay, let me
ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this real quick before we completely hop off the topic. How the aggressive riding went is like a very big talking point on the internet right now, and how the AMA should have handled it, and the 5-point penalty should have been black flagged and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys can share your opinion on all of that. But the bigger question that I would like to talk to you about is, in Formula One and in MotoGP, like they let the guys race within a limit, but then it's almost to a point where like every little move or anytime they bump wheels is scrutinized and they have to go to the FIA for review and all of these things. And if you get enough points on your license and you miss races, and that doesn't happen because nobody gets enough points, but like your penalties really do stack up against you. And like there is a rhyme and reason for it. And overly aggressive driving is like, they monitor it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something, and that like they do that because they want to make it look like it's the most ethical sport, that it's not just fucking blood sport out there, that there's actually like tactic and all of those things? What is your guys' opinion on that? Because for what so many people want, especially after the Ezra Lusk interview on behalf of the AMA on Mathis's show last week, where they're talking about how they're formalizing and they watch so much video and the teams tattle on each other all the time. How much can it still remain the Wild West of guys being able to do what they want to do? But then how much can it take on a more well-developed approach where it's like, hey man, there are ramifications for your actions. Like if you just can't go out there and like ride crazy every single week and all we're going to keep giving you is a written warning. Like we're going to have to formalize a penalty structure with this. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I think they've already started that. Honestly,
but I mean,
yeah,
like,
but like,
they started
okay,
it, but like the end goal is making it much more strict. So, do you guys want something more strict, or do
No.
you want it to be more Wild West?
no, look it. This is how it needs to go. Number one, I want to say this: we have to have rules. There's no question. You know, the rules out of the AMA might not be perfect, but you have to have rules at some point. You know, I don't think you can just go wild west. But with that being said, you know, with Mike Pelletier, Ezra Lusk, those type of guys. Thank God we have Ezra Lusk. Thank God we have Mike Pelletier. I think they're two fantastic.
And J-Bone.
Yeah, all of them. They've been around the sport. They know what's going on. They're doing a great job. But with that being said, you know, it really has to be a very big production, especially when you're deeming penalties and things like that on situations like this. Because you know, a penalty on Vince Freeze is going to be different than a penalty for the championship run from Hayden Deegan. You know, and Hayden Deegan did get penalized. So essentially, Joe did go down. You know, if we look at it, he wouldn't even have won the championship. You know, so that's how that would have went because he was already penalized. You know, it is what it is. You know, that probably would have been a lot bigger deal and maybe even would have went to, you know, court for more review. I think that's how that works. You can like appeal it or whatever. But either way, I think that the rulings have to be situationalized. You can't just go with one strict rule across the board. I think that's absolutely crazy.
I don't.
But then that becomes.
I don't like that.
That becomes a problem because then everybody is always going to be. You've made an example out of me, or you're too lenient on me. Like if
exactly,
and
way,
then you can't. There's no gray area.
Yeah, and then now there's going to be open discussions about you didn't you didn't penalize this guy enough because you like this guy. Like I feel like they've already created a system what is pretty structured. Like one, your first offense is a warning. We've seen multiple offenses this season, Supercross, Motocross, and now SMX, where the second offense is 5 points. And I think it, second, and I think it should. The other thing that I guess we have to talk about where I'm just working on in my head is like, now is that for their career or is that for the year or, what is it? Because now like
it's got to be yearly.
It's got to be yearly. But then, then there's a discussion of like, oh, okay, so this guy gets to just T-bone me once a year, and then the second,
I gotta forget about it in the winter. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
why it's situational. It's a hard decision because a takeout in a heat race should not be, the same as a takeout, or a fight that's contact for a championship. That doesn't seem right. Like if you're blatantly taking somebody out in a heat race for no fucking points and no nothing, that deserves a way stricter penalty.
And then as on top of that, it's like, you don't see any penalties given out for LCQ takeouts.
No. I blew 2 dudes off the track at one time.
You've got blown off the track by other dudes.
Yes. And I've never even been talked to.
Yeah. So
That's not, well, one time I got brought into it in the rig with Mike Pelletier, which, you know, he gave me a stern talking to and I got a written warning, but still, it was like, that was my entire career. And the LCQ, it's kind of hard to like make it all happen. So, I mean, it's just, they're in a situation that it's going to be tough. You know, they're not going to be liked. Ezra Lusk and Mike Pelletier are not going to be beloved by all. That's just the way it is. You know, and they're going to.
And I feel like everybody knows like kind of the line.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think they've done a good job thus far, especially this year, this season, on the penalties given and how they're given.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree? How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've definitely made big improvements, and they're always making sure of when they make a mistake to take note of it and try to be better for the next time. Like even the Jett thing for when he jumped the gate or when he hit the gate at Ironman, like they know their rule book. They're figuring it out. They know that when they make a mistake that is so easily accessible for everyone else to point out and know what it just makes them look bad. And so they're really, really trying hard to correct that because they don't want to look bad. You know, like if you watch, like people that watch Formula One, which I know is probably not a lot of people that listen to this.
Oh, there's more than you think.
Oh, those motherfuckers come under fire all the time from the teams because they make like not good calls or or there's big inconsistencies and then there's the whole bureaucracy of that in and of itself. And like if you see what they do and like sometimes even the easy mistakes that they make, like if you're a race series, you have to watch that and be like, okay, we cannot make the same mistake twice. Like we watch what they do not do that. It's
just hard though, Mike, because like, you know, they probably have what, a $200 to $500 million budget, and their whole existence in F1 relies so much more on how to manipulate the rule book. You know, so there's probably 3 to 4 guys that are in a group per F1 team that are analyzing the rules back and forth to see where they can manipulate it to get an edge.
I think you guys are kind of losing.
I more so mean BFI,
aggressive driving and you know, passes and takeovers.
On track, like as officials watching on track. So again, it's the same thing to what you said, Adam. They only have a few of them that they have to do this.
Yeah.
And then, but going back, I want to know your guys' opinion because I was on David Villeman's Instagram this morning.
Yeah.
And he had a good idea. Like, I think for this situation in particular, shine some light on a little gap in our system. Like, there needs to be a warning flag to an aggressive rider on the track during a main event, other than the black flag. You know, because I don't think probably a lot of our listeners don't even know what a black flag is. And I've only seen it get pulled out twice.
Yeah, I've seen a black flag a few times.
Yeah.
It's rare, though.
It's rare. But I've seen it get pulled out on a flagger, Chad Reed, I think.
Oh, yep.
Chad And then I've seen Josh Hansen get pulled down on.
For aggressive riding.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Remember when he took out Kennard?
He didn't get black flag for that. That was but that was the last lap of an LCQ or something in last place or some shit.
Yeah.
But I remember, you guys remember that race where Chad Reed was a lapper and he was like racing first?
And he took out Kennard.
Did he take out Kennard that race?
No, the one he got taken out, the one he got black flagged was the Kennard thing. And I think he didn't even pull off or something.
No, he just kept on riding.
Yeah.
He's like,
fuck you. Pretty gnarly. But
that was another one of those times where like the crowd saw the black flag and it was like this hush of like, yo, is that really the fucking black flag for Chad Reed?
Yeah. Like what? Yeah. I don't know, dude. What did you guys like? So what's the verdict? What's the verdict on the pass over the single into Joe Shimoda?
Horrible execution.
That's it?
Yeah.
Would you, if he could do it over, what would you have him do? Would you have him
pin it more and have him slide it with the rear end?
I love that. I'm thinking like, would you rather have him take him out or not take him out? No, Ty's like, You got to take him out way better. You got to get in front of him more and fucking hit his front wheel with the rear tire.
Yeah, he was trying to hit his front end with his peg.
Yeah.
I was like, dog, that's not how you do that.
Yeah, we got to go to Georgia and show him.
Yeah, bro, like you've never played takeout. Like, I don't know if anybody knows what takeout is, but you literally grab your buddy and you go
try to take him out.
You try to take him out on your dirt bike.
Yeah, it's
and
slow.
And it's super slow. Sometimes you're going 4 miles an hour or you're brake checking them down a straightaway, but you're trying to get your friend basically on the ground.
First one down is the loser.
Yes.
You ever play that, Mike? Probably not. Mike, what's your consensus on the actual pass? Was that pass good for the sport? Was it just absolutely ridiculous? And Deegan's an idiot. Like, what's your just outlook and take on the pass?
The pass in and of itself, like the final one, really wasn't even that bad. Like, I'm honest, I really thought, because I told my friend Casey while we were watching it, that his big move was going to actually happen in the turn before that, because he had been teeing up a couple people there. Mm-hmm. And even at the start of Moto 2,
that's where he got Joe.
Like, he had a better start than Joe, and then Joe got around him, and then he took him all the way. And I'm like, okay, well, now it's that one. You guys have all of that room to, slice and dice. Once you get to there, then you can do whatever.
Did you? Oh, hold on one second, Mike. Did you guys see Deegan's stuff on Joe one corner before the finish line corner on the first lap?
I got right the end of it.
Right off the start, bro. This guy pushed him wide and brake checked him and then pinned it. And he got him like... He got him like good. Like he was back 5 positions.
You see when they start going through those moguls, he sees him. He looks, if you watch out of the drone, he looks over. Like, because he had the wheel on Joe. He was better than Joe. Like, as they went through the first turn, he was better than Joe. And then Joe made the move, and Joe and him were even. And he noticed it and then drove it, because I was standing behind it, and I just watched him go straight. And I was like, yes, there it is. Now we got it going. Like, fuck, they ain't even going to wait 2 minutes. It's on right now.
How funny is it that we called that last week? Like, we literally said those exact words. Like, Deegan is literally the best thing you could do is just get a start, and he's good enough to like look around, wait, and then hit him right off the gate.
Yeah, because if he would have fell down right there, that would have been a tough race for Joe.
And you can't really say shit because there's so much chaos. It's like, oh, dude, the guy on the right of me kind of like moved over. Oh, I didn't even know. Like, I thought it was a different red bike.
Different red bike.
And then you put so many other people into consideration now. Like, when it was just those 5 that got up to the front, you're like, all right, man, here it is. Gloves off again.
Yeah.
But if he goes down and he gets 18th, then you have to rely on everybody else. Like, can he get by this dude? Can he get by Parker Ross? Can he make a quick pass on Dylan Short? Like, how fast is he getting forward to make those moves?
Yeah.
And instead it just became, oh no, it's time for the boys just to go to the front and do what they got to do.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you noticed that, Ty, because I saw it when it happened, and I was like, that is that is amazing racer awareness. I don't want anybody to ever think that I don't like the kid or that I like don't respect him, because he's a fucking badass little racer. Like, what he's able to see and do and put together, it's amazing. Like, just as someone that watches every single race as I do, the stuff that he's able to do is unbelievable.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, I would agree. The pass, and it's funny, like, the more we talk about this, the more you just realize how good of a race Joe had. Like how good Joe rode last night in Las Vegas to be able to pull that off. I mean, he had all that thrown at him and somehow still
didn't get rattled, didn't lose focus,
just did what he had to do.
Yeah, stuck to the plan.
And that is cool, because it's like that brings us another guy on the possibility to get to that Hayden Deegan level. Because I still wouldn't put Joe as good as Hayden, but that step that Joe took was crucial in his career. Like, that just changed Joe's trajectory of like who he's going to be as a racer, as a 450 rider for the next 10 years.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Like that moment, that night, last night, the confidence that will forever be instilled in him because of what he pulled off will now change his career. Because we're not worried about Hayden. I mean, with the amount of passion that kid had to win,
and the amount of speed he had,
and
where he could have done anything.
I mean, and he's already signed to Yamaha, which we know is going to be a good bike. So he's on a good bike. He's on a good setup. He likes everything. He's got that all going on, and he has that much will to win that he will do anything. Hayden's going to be fine. We know, the Hayden Jett battle, that's going to be up for debate.
Yeah.
Would love to wait and see it. But really, to see Joe blossom and put his career in that direction is just, it's amazing for the sport for sure.
Yeah. This is a huge building block on just building Joe up to be more of a solid racer and less inconsistent, I think.
Yep. All right. Well, let's finish this out.
Hey, can I say one thing on that? Because
Absolutely.
I completely agree on all of that. And the one thing that really opened my eyes on like how far Joe has come was that clip in the press conference, because like, it's so funny what he said and all of that. But the smirk that he has on his face, like, he gets it now. Like, Joe really gets it. And he is, in the last couple of months, really unlocked like a new layer to his personality and his confidence and all of that. Like, I've known Joe, really honest to God, since he got here. Like, I remember watching him ride as this little kid that would come from Japan and ride in California on vacations and stuff. And then like seeing the Geico days, and you could not get a word out of him because like it had to be so hard. He was this little Japanese kid that really didn't understand English, that got thrown into the Southern California public school system and like had to learn.
Yeah.
And if you've watched Joe, like he has learned English so well, until he understands the Japanese part, and he has all of that, and he's able to like dissect it, process it in his head, give you the answer, but he understands American jokes and irony and context and that shit. And that's going to help him tap into the American fan, where they're going to be like, wow, that little fucker is funny. Like if you know Joe, he's really funny. But like, you have to really know Joe. But then when you see that come out, and he's going to be really comfortable in his own skin, and he's showing more of his thing, and he's got good sponsors that are going to make him really marketable. Yeah, he's fast enough. Like, great. He knows how to do the bike. He has all that. So now you have the secret spice of he's found out how to be true to himself and all of the confidence that comes with that. And then to just knock out the language barrier or the like conversation barrier. Lars told me last night that they've finally gotten to this level where, like, so many people were like, it was the Jett and Hayden, or it was the Jett and Hunter 250. He should just be ripping on that CRF 250R right now. But Lars has been like, hey, we did on us have to realize that Joe wants something different and communicates something differently. And it took us time to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, man. Now Joe has what is arguably one of the hardest parts of working in a team, the communication and understanding how to make the motorcycle how you want. Homeboy's got it all now. Like, he literally is the complete package going into 26 because he has the speed, he has the bike and the team behind him, he has the sponsors and the marketability to be something, and now he's got the confidence and the charisma in himself to be himself. Like, dog, we saw Joe really blossom into his own last night, and it was fucking cool because he was so happy. He was so happy.
And that's a perfect segue into, I'm going to call it right now, the best question that was asked this year by the one and only Adam at Track Talkers during the press conference.
That was definitely pretty cool. The clip is just floating around everywhere right now. But I heard from Michael Lindsay that there were some words exchanged on the podium and
on the starting gate.
Yeah, on the starting gate. And as soon as Joe got up there, I was like, you know what? I know those words aren't ever really like public knowledge, you know what I mean? Because that's starting gate talk and it's kind of gnarly. But I was like, you know what, dude? Let's just see. Let's
Yeah.
see what's up. And I just asked Joe, I said, hey, I heard some words were exchanged on the podium. You know, can you enlighten us? Can you tell us about anything? And he said, oh, you really want to know what he said? You want to know? And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Can you actually tell us? I'm not sure, but whatever you can enlighten us on, that would be great. And and what he said was just like, you know, so Hayden Deegan of him, right? He's like, you don't know what's about to you don't know what's about to come, right? SMX. SMX comes going to clip that, but you don't know what's about to come. And then he says, I do not speak English. Like, what a response. Like, do you think he had that lined up?
No, that was full just like
off the cuff?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, and that just speaks to Joe and who he is. And then, you know, the whole press conference cheered for that, which was awesome. Everybody was laughing and cheering. And then I asked him, you know, instead of saying, what would you do with what are you going to do with the 500 grand? I said, what are you going to blow the 500 grand on? And he said, I'm going to go to the roulette table and put it all on red and double down, baby. And everybody just fucking cheered and was so stoked. And yeah, I mean, what a cool moment to cap it all off. You know, and that just really, like Anton said, just brought out even more of his personality so we could get to know who Joe was and like how he handles that situation, who he is as a person, to really be able to fall in love with actually the rider, Joe Shimoda, and the person, Joe Shimoda.
Because, dude, if on real talk, if we can tap into that Japan market and get some fans and get a lot of fans invested and watching the race, bro, huge numbers.
Too, the more guys that we have that become elite athletes, you know, at that social media coverage level where we got millions of followers at our top athletes, like all of the top athletes, it just makes the sport look so much more official.
Yes.
Like if your top athlete has 500,000 followers, it's like, damn. You know what I mean? But when 10 of your top athletes have over 1 million followers on social media platforms, that shit looks good.
It looks good.
It looks like, damn, this is a legit sport with a legit following, and these people are making money. Yeah. And when they see that, people are interested.
Yes, absolutely.
To close out this segment, I really want to ask you guys a question, because it's really tough on riders and just tough on everybody. And you know, Deegan acts tough on the outside. He really does. You know what I mean? Like, he's a tough kid in general, but you have to remember, all these guys are human beings, dude. He's still a kid. He's still 18 years old. He still has freaking feelings. You know, he's never going to show it. But, you know, just think, what would you guys do for $500,000? Realistically.
I've told you multiple times, I'd ghost ride my whip into you.
Yeah, and like Anton said, and Anton, I want you to chime in too. The pass to me wasn't that aggressive. It definitely wasn't no Tyler Evans or Vince Freeze pass.
No.
It was, you know, it was at the same angle. It wasn't even a Levi Kitchen pass.
Wasn't no Josh Hansen pass, that's for damn sure.
Levi Kitchen did Deegan dirtier in that single pass than Deegan did Joe.
Yes.
The angle was way less. It was way less aggressive. You know, it wasn't, you know, crazy. But
on that particular pass, yes.
That particular pass, it was intentional.
Yes.
But think about this. For $500,000 just from Feld, probably another 150, 200,000 from Yamaha. Then you're thinking another 50,000 from Thor. You know, plus other stuff. So you're coming home, you win that SMX championship, you're probably bringing home 750 grand if you make that happen. What would you do for 750 grand think about that before you just blow out Deegan? You know?
I would do a lot.
Mike,
I would do a lot.
Mike, would you do that for 750,000?
$750,000 to me is life-changing money. 70.
Right?
No, I'm being
Seriously.
100%. No, Adam, I have a fucking like a very serious point in like that. Like $7,500 to me is life-changing money. $7,500 to a lot of fucking people is life-changing money.
Yeah.
And I see that argument being thrown around out there so much right now, and I don't even factor it in at all, like in any of this, because like in Seth Hammaker's case, $750,000 is life-changing money.
Yeah.
Joe comes from a very well-off family. People don't know that, but Joe's family's fucking cash money. They're good. They're not like Deegan's got invested at Monster Energy at the ground level good. They're good. They're good. That money for Hayden, yeah, he could make his life much different with that, but like, no, he has everything. That move was not motivated by money at all. That was 100% a personal thing. There was no.
I agree with that.
In my belief, I don't believe that they're like, yeah, hey man, you're gonna. But like, he was gonna make that much money regardless of like, you're gonna win. You're gonna sell merchandise. You're gonna this. Like, it's not a massive amount of money to me. More so like watching how all of that went on. That was more of a personal thing because realistically, I don't think he's ever going to ride a 250 again.
Really? You don't think January?
Nope.
Damn. I do. I think January he'll be on a 250 for sure, especially after that. Yeah. Maybe if he won the SMX championship. And that does bring a good point, Anton. I do say, what would you do for 500, 750,000 as a person? Think about that. What you would do. Mm-hmm. But for Hayden, I think he was I think the legacy thing for Hayden is the most important thing that he thinks about when he's racing. And I think three-peating was so important to him that he was willing to do whatever it took.
Yeah, and you could obviously see it.
I don't even think three-peating. I think it's proving a point to all these kids. Like, yo, one more time, I'm going to show you I did it again. I think that was the biggest thing. Yeah, I think that of all, like, fucking who, like, because again, like through the title thing, yes, although it's highly touted and all that stuff, all of the racers will tell you, like, yeah, fuck, it's cool, but like, what? Like what? Mm-hmm. And as we've talked about on the show, that attitude is changing. As new fans come in and they do believe that, like, yo, those 3 races after you've raced 28 other races, it is important. And it is. Like, I'm not discrediting that it is. Yeah. But like that title in and of itself, the championship plate and all that, like, he proved all year he was the number 1 guy. He did it. Like, nobody is going to fucking argue that he was not the top 250 rider in America from race 1. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, even Joe said last night that Hayden was faster.
Oh, 100%. And everybody knows it, and like he had the bike, like literally about to shit the bed on the engine in Colorado, cruised it home, got it done, learned the consistency, had some big dog crashes that like would have left anybody in a like battered and bruised, jumped back up, rode it out, like did all that. Hayden did everything that he was supposed to do this year. I really think that like all of that stuff last night was more like, this is my time to show you guys because I might never race you again.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate our sponsors, Twisted Tea, Dirt Tricks, Stan Benson Racing. Ty, where can you get a Dirt Trick sprocket?
Stan Benson Racing.
You can get a Dirt Trick sprocket on dirttricks.com too. You can get a Dirt Trick sprocket at Stan Benson Racing. Where's Stan Benson Racing out of?
Bakersfield, California.
Come on, what do you need? What do you need to get at Stan Benson Racing? Pirelli tires?
Anything you want.
You need some ETS fuel shipped to your house? Come on.
You need a motorcycle?
Stan Benson Racing.
Stan Benson Racing.
All right. Well, this next segment is brought to you by Acerbis. We appreciate it. Acerbis has the best plastics. Go to AcerbisUSA.com. Get your plastics. Best fitting plastics. Got the new gray ones. Always a cool look, but definitely great on color matching and fit. We do Big L, Big Dub, and I'm just going to pick the subject because I can do that. Big L, and we're only going to talk about one Big L, and that is the looming question. What the fuck are we going to do as Team USA now?
Bro.
What are we going to do? I mean, first guy that comes to mind, Ty?
RJ Hampshire.
Boom. Took it out of my mouth. That's one guy. Because that guy wants it more than anybody.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't
Hammaker's out. He would have been a great pick, but Hammaker's out because he's got to have shoulder surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And so his shoulder surgery, we talked to him after the races, and he said if he gets his shoulder surgery in 2 days, he doesn't get back till January. So he's ready for East Coast.
Yes. So, I mean, I wouldn't be mad about Eli Tomac, RJ Hampshire, and Levi Kitchen.
Okay, that's solid. Especially because
I wouldn't be mad about it.
Levi's doing good. Levi hasn't.
And I think Levi needs to race more.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Levi's proven outdoors wise great. Mike, what's your consensus around this whole situation? What should we do?
After Hayden walked off the track, I was like, all right, well, it's time to walk over to the Star Truck with Team USA and have them start talking to J Coop to get him back on the 250 again. The bike's already going and everything's already done.
Can I cut you off really quick? Just really quick.
Yes.
I just want to give an update. So Ty and I went to the rig, talked to Chase Sexton. We didn't talk about it necessarily at the beginning of the thing, but Chase Sexton did say he was okay, and he said he got x-rays back, and he's not hurt. So that's still a potential option. Chase Sexton, it's not.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it is either. I don't think it's.
I wouldn't go there, dude.
But he's not broken
as of last night. But
which is something that we need to talk about more later. On the Cowie thing.
Yeah, but Anton and Adam and I do know this. You can get X-rays when everything's swollen and nice and tight, and you can't see those hairline fractures.
Yeah.
Then when everything starts to relax and everything starts to kind of loosen up and the swelling goes down, then those fractures start opening up. And I've literally had it happen multiple times where I'll take an x-ray of my ankle, not broken at the moment, go back a week later. Oh yeah, you got a fracture.
Yeah.
Shit happens all the time.
Yep. All right, Anton. So keep going on the Team USA.
Yeah. So initially, Jacob's people didn't seem very open to the idea. They were just like, "Oh man, come on, we're not gonna drop back down. Like we just did 31 races. It's gonna be hard to do it on the 250." And then Chase's accident happens, and they're like, "Oh, okay. Well, it looks like we might have to do that because RJ seems like the most logical choice for the 450."
Yeah.
RJ made and I said this on the show in the last couple of weeks. RJ has really good energy right now. Like he seems still fresh despite the long season. He's making a shit ton of passes. He's got great speed, but the bike looks great. I thought this last week. Like his bike looks nice and light,
bro.
And at the
end of the outdoors, not to cut you off or anything, because I want to add on. At the end of the outdoors, he's fighting for podiums.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was faster than Justin at the end of the outdoors. I really do think that.
Yeah,
like it was proven. It was proven. He was tracking Justin down.
He was tracking Eli down, bro. He was beating Eli in the outdoors.
There's another one over there. But then for Justin, he's an excellent starter. You know what I mean? And if that's his one job as the 250 rider, just to get a start and go do what he needs to do as the MX2 pick, put Justin on that bike and then make that happen. I heard RJ might not do it, but I would think that he probably will now after Chase's incident and all of that, and how you going to turn it down. So although it's a different team than what we thought it was going to be, I mean, it's not like the star-studded super team that we were shooting the bikes on Friday about.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad team. That's not a bad team. RJ's pretty fucking fast. Eli's fast. We know Eli's fast. And if Justin does drop down to the small bore bike, he's really only got to be one of the top 7 250 guys, and that's mission accomplished.
Yeah. I wouldn't even call that.
4, and I think he could do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call that our B team. That's like our 1.5 team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good team.
It's a really good team.
So who else could we put on the 250 if J. Coop doesn't go?
Levi Kitchen.
I really think that's the only option. Levi's not really a big fan of Ironman. No.
That's what I mean. It's not looking good.
And in addition to all of that, I don't know if
who else
got to send the factory truck to do Romain Febvre for Team France. But I don't know if Mitch is sending his truck, if Mitch got it rented out or whatever. And I know that most likely that truck's going to go anytime the international races happen, all the teams always come together and US stuff becomes Euro. And when we go over there, the Euro stuff becomes the US's. It all is a very good system. But I don't know if there's a lot of small bore Cowie 250 people that need a lot of help, that have a lot of bikes on the track at the Nations.
Yeah.
So, like, does Mitch even have to go? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at the list right now. So, like, our top 250 riders, I mean, other than, like, Ryder D could be actually a viable
Dude, he's
option.
not even
but Ryder
supposed to
D just got
ride for
knocked
2
unconscious.
weeks.
2 weeks? Not bad.
Bruh.
Could be good. I mean, we got Nate Thrasher, Ty Masterpool, Garrett Marchbanks.
Garrett might be good. He passed 105 riders or some shit.
Yeah, but bro, he needs a break.
He needs a break and he needs a start, bro. Put Garrett on the 450.
And he needs to get healed up because that fool's hurting.
Oh yeah, after Charlotte.
Yes.
I mean, Nate Thrasher seems to be doing decent.
He's not an outdoor guy, bro.
No, he's not at all. He's like, yeah, no.
Fuck, dude. Let's just
Telling
put
the race is happening at Lucas Oil.
yeah.
Straight up, huh?
Let's just cherry pick Joe Shimoda, dude.
Can't we?
He's American.
No, he's racing for Team Japan. What if he
I know.
hopped to America? He's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think Joe's racing on 450
I know
too.
speak
Yeah,
Japanese.
I think he is racing a 450.
I know speak Japanese.
Speak Japanese.
Damn. So pretty much we just got J Coop. If J Coop don't pull it off, we're fucked. Like we're really peanut butter and toasted.
Bro,
Who could drop down on a 250? Cooper Webb could drop down. Yeah, that ain't happening.
Fuck, dude. Is fucking Aaron Plessinger ready to go, dude, in a couple weeks?
No. He probably needs like 6 months off.
For real.
There's just, I don't even know.
Put Barsha on a 250, bro.
He'll blow it
Yeah,
up.
but Bam's done on that team.
Yeah.
I know.
He's ready to go to
He's
his
out.
next thing.
Ducati.
Where is his next thing? Ducati?
Yeah, it's Ducati, right? With him and Ferrandis is what I heard.
Yep.
Oh, him and Ferrandis?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on, right? That's our team. If we don't get J Coop, RJ Hampshire, and Eli, we're pretty much jacked anyways. Nothing to write home about.
Yeah. We'll be
Yes or
toasted.
no?
I respect Eli's passion for it. Like, for him to be that, like,
Right? Wasn't that freaking cool?
still about it last night. That was tight.
He's like, literally, somebody asked him a question about it. He's like, yeah, we got freaking bombed tonight. We got smoked. It was not good for Team USA.
Yeah, Team USA is in shambles right now.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. Don't talk to me about it. I'm pissed. I got to go talk to riders and get this shit together. Like, that's what it seemed like, didn't it?
It definitely seemed like that.
Like, it seemed like he was more pissed about MX and Nations than he was about losing at SMX.
Yeah.
Like, he was aggressive about it. I was like, okay, Captain America. Get him a Marvel suit and a shield. Like, come on. Shit. Yes or no?
Yeah.
All right. California Coast Plumbing. You need some plumbing? Commercial plumbing? Any kind of plumbing. Anaheim, California. California Coast Plumbing. Chad Gores, the GOAT. Okay? In the trenches. You know who's in the fucking trenches? Chase motherfucking Sexton. What is he going to do? Anton, start this off, baby.
Bro,
We heard his peg
repeat the
broke
question?
off.
we did hear
On
that.
Chase's bike?
Yes, that's what we heard. We heard rumor that the peg snapped off the bike or some shit.
And the only video
didn't know
I
that.
have seen is him at the very end endoing his brains out into the single.
We talked to him, and he said verbatim, I haven't hit the ground that hard in a long time. And like he had his shirt and his pants off, and no homo, this kid is ripped. Like if he said he hit the ground hard and he's jacked up, he
Bro.
hit the ground hard, dude.
Yeah.
Because he looks like just like literally
The
solid.
boy's got some muscle on him. Like, luckily he had some meat.
Yes, for real.
Because this kid would probably be broken if he was any other kid.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. There's just no even question.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. He could probably enter a bodybuilding competition right now and get like top 5 for physique. Yes. Okay, Anton, talk to us about this is where I want to talk. This is what I want to do. Let's just have a fun little segment. Anton, be the team manager of Monster Energy Kawasaki standing in the stands at Las Vegas. Second moto. Like, be the team manager.
It's funny you mentioned that because I had that exact thought when I was standing on the plane today. I was like,
Right?
man, what the fuck was Dan thinking? Like,
right? Like,
you know, and like, I mean, that's a reality for a lot of them because I mean, that could be for anybody that's about to change teams, but like that one, like, wow, man,
he's seen as
we got
not
so
Ryder
much hope
yet,
pinned
but
on
Ryder.
this,
yeah.
but Ryder.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
And then we
that
just
one,
had,
dude, that was.
Go ahead.
That one was an interesting one though because that 4th through 8 battle in points was big because there was only like 7 points, 8 points between them, $100,000 payout difference, which again not life changing money, but $100,000 that's a big swing in 4
For
positions.
me, it is.
And for watching those guys, like, oh, there they are. There's the pack of them. There's those 4 or 5 guys just dicing it up and Chase to be in the middle of it. He not so good first moto. Very good second moto. Like he was free of that pack. I was like, all right, man, homie's getting 4th. Like he's getting it. He's going to get that money. And then when he didn't come around one lap, like Kenny had been dogging him a little bit. And I was like, oh, wow, Ken's showing some spice in this one. And then he didn't come down the back section and Ken did. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then I saw Bodner, or I saw one of the medical guys in the Alpine starter cart take off. And I was like, yep, that was Chase. And I haven't seen anything from the crash, but I saw a photo of the bike. I saw the Garth Milan photo of him just starfished out. And then I saw a photo of the bike where the swing arm and all of that was just crumpled in. And like the rear fender was underneath the tire and all that. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I've seen that photo too.
I haven't seen the video though. I need to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to see those guys in that pack dicing it up like that, knowing what was at stake for them, seeing how that battle went, and then how it ended in the second moto like that. Like, yeah, super unfortunate. And then glad that you guys said that he's not seriously hurt because he's still going to take time off. Like, I'm sure if he doesn't do donations now, he's going to be on the first flight to Hawaii that he can get on and chill for the next 6 weeks. And then it's going to be time to be burning test laps at the test track off the 15 freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, yeah, that's it. Hopefully Chase Sexton is okay, and he gets back on the bike and he gets on that Cowie and has a good time, and hopefully we get a good team for MX Nations. We appreciate you guys listening. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. We are going to get Ty set up on a like webcam type of deal, and we're going to keep doing these episodes. We're going to definitely do a MX Nations episode. Right, Ty?
Yes, absolutely.
And we're going to do as many as we can. We're going to try to get some people on during the off season. We're going to cover WSX. We're going to do all that stuff. So we're going to keep these shows rolling. So do not forget to tune in to Track Talkers. Every Monday morning, we drop the episode at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. We love you guys. Thank you for following us this season. Definitely awesome time. Awesome to have all the boys on the show. And tell your dad, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your grandma. Tell everybody, like, subscribe. Las Vegas, last round of SMX. Peace.
Later.